This is the sad story of Lydia Wanjiru, who lost her 3-year-old daughter following a misdiagnosis. Born on the 19th of March 2010, Lynn Kemani would be 5 years old today. However, her life was tragically cut short last year on the 4th of January after her parents took her to a local healthcare facility where she was misdiagnosed and given the wrong drugs. It was these drugs that unfortunately led to her painful death. A year and 7 months later, we meet her mother, who painfully recounts what exactly happened.
We got our first born in 2010. She grew up without any problem. She even had went to school. She was in baby class. She was 4 years. She was approaching 4 years. She was 3 years 9 months. And in 2014, it was on a Friday, 3rd of January. She fell sick. They were at home with the dad, and she came and started complaining that she had a stomachache. And when the dad heard that she had a stomachache, she took her to hospital. I was at work, and she was treated and diagnosed with stomach infection. After they were treated and came back at home. So we gave her medicine. She took her medicine on that 3rd of January. It was on a Friday, and we slept well. Though she after taking drug, she developed diarrhea, and she continued with diarrhea the whole night. Now we came on Saturday. It was on a Saturday, and in the morning she was okay. In the afternoon, we started to see that she has become worse. So in the morning, we were thinking that to give a time of what the doctors had said. So in the afternoon, in the whole Saturday, that 4th of January, she was okay. Even she called her auntie. She talked with her grandmother, and even for me, she could tell me that we pray. I remember her telling me that, "Mom, come and we pray." And when we were praying, she told me, "Mom, na usilie tena," because when she was dialing and she was taking water. So we never had an idea that she was diarrhea and vomiting. Na alikuwa na take water pia. So when we were in the afternoon, we were with her. I never went to job that day, but the dad was, he wasn't at work, but he was not at home. At around 4 on 4th, that Saturday, I saw it. She was worse because she was not eating something, but she was drinking water, though she was vomiting. And at 4, I called her dad and told him to come. We needed to take her back to hospital.
At this point, Lydia and her husband had not yet realized that the same drugs that the doctor prescribed to make their daughter better only worsened her situation. We spoke to Dr. John Kibe, who further explained the consequences of misdiagnosis.
We are talking about misdiagnosis, and this is a situation that has been there in our country for so long. We've seen in TVs, and we've seen people complaining. And misdiagnosis is whereby a doctor misses the main complaint of a patient and comes out with a diagnosis that is not concurrent with what the child is suffering from. And now that one starts a stream of many other wrong things. For example, you start giving wrong medication. You'll even the advice that you give to the parents will not be enough, because maybe the diet you'll advise the parent to give wrong diet according to what the patient is suffering from. For adults, they are able to sustain a misdiagnosis because they are strong and you can get time to make the corrections. But for children, it's very dangerous. Actually, just a single dose of injection that is given wrongly can cause severe effects, either permanent disability or death. And that's why it's very important for parents to know where they're taking their children. Most of the time, misdiagnosis is done by practitioners who are not either well trained, who are ignorant, or who are quacks.
Took her immediately to hospital, but when we were on our way, she passed on. I had called her, and I noticed that she had passed away because the breathing that she had, Aisha Kabisa, and I was holding her. I never told her that, but we continued with the journey to the hospital. And on our way to hospital, we went, and when we lived there, the doctors told us that she had already passed.
A recent research posted on the internet has shown that most errors occur on common diseases like pneumonia and urinary tract infections, with 87% causing considerable or severe harm, including death. In Lydia's case, a post-mortem would reveal that the cause of Lynn's death was in fact pneumonia.
When the post-mortem was done, she had pneumonia and she had shock. Doctors, I would say that in hospitals they need qualified doctors, because Lynn had pneumonia and the dad had noticed that she might have pneumonia, and after going to that hospital, Zima, he asked the doctor, "You have said that he has a stomach infection, but as for me, I think her throat has problem, her breathing has problem, and I think you need to watch her more." And the doctor was just ignorant and akasema, "She's okay, akikunywa hizo dawa ni hivi." But we think the problem started with the medicines, because wakati tu alikunywa, the baby never stood again, and that is when she started learning fluently, ingine ikiwa na harufu mbaya. So tulikuwa tunagoja dawa ifanye kazi without knowing in her rhythm. So for the doctors, I would advise the hospital to have qualified doctors.
Once you're given medication and you notice that instead of the child improving, this baby is getting worse, you should not wait. You should either seek separate intervention from another practitioner, or go back to that place if is an institution that is renowned, so that the doctor, because it's not all the time that the child reacts to medication. It's not always because they have been given the wrong medication, but sometimes they are just allergic to those medications. So number one, it's very important to know you're taking your child. Number two, once you notice that the child is not improving, it's good, don't waste time. Very fast, go and seek further attention.
We asked Lydia if she and her husband had any intention of pursuing the matter in court and seeking justice for the loss of their daughter.
My husband wanted to pursue it, but we saw it wasn't necessary. We had an idea, but we never went.
But once you know your rights and you can prove that there was negligence, then justice is on your side. Number one, for you to practice, you must be licensed by the board, and the facility has to be inspected. the person who is running the facility has to produce relevant documents, and a license has to be displayed. So if the license is not displayed, most probably there are things that are being hidden. And that's why the medical practitioners and dentists board, time and again, they make crackdowns to go and fish out the clinics that are operating illegally. Now, in case you are affected in one way or another by a misdiagnosis that causes either permanent disability or death, you are entitled to justice. And this is where also the board comes in. So you can present your documents to the medical practitioner and dentist board. They have their lawyers. They will come and scrutinize the medication that was given. And number one, know whether the doctor is a qualified doctor. Number two, they have to know whether there was any misconduct, and follow due diligence from there.
She always said that she wanted to be a driver. We are blessed with baby Prosper, and to add to young mothers, I can say don't assume the health of the baby, because si tulikuwa tunagoja dawa ifanye kazi, though tulikuwa tumeanza kusikia mtoto miguu imekuwa baridi, mikono imekuwa baridi, but you are still hoping for the best. So me, what I can add to young mothers is, when you notice your child is different from the way you knew, from the way she or he is, just go to the hospital. Afadhali uende uambie uko na uoga than to stay with the child at home. For now, we are blessed with baby Prosper, and we are glad to God.
Baby Prosper may never get to know his older sister, but as for Lydia and her husband, this is something that they will certainly never forget. As they move on with their lives, the inner strength and belief in God is what pushes them to come to terms with the events of that fateful day. I'm Nancy Mwithi, reporting for the Sunday Bulletin.